Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is Britt here at Plan with Britt, and we're going to plan the week of September the 29th through Sunday, October the 5th. If you're interested in watching this, then stick around. This week we're going to change it up a little bit and do something a little bit different, and mostly because I really loved this kit. So this is the September subscription box from Simply Gilded, and I use this to set up the monthly in my teacher planner at work. So you'll notice all the numbers are gone because I used them there. There are a few of these other icon stickers, and most of the full boxes, I'll use a full box or so in my teacher planner, but not very much. I do also use a little bit of this to set up the monthly in my A6 Wonderland 222 planner. So that's kind of what I set up with, mostly a little bit of washi and a tiny bit of deco. And so then the rest of the kits I have been maybe saving a little bit of the washi, and then I've been getting rid of the kits, like selling them or whatever, or giving them to some of my planner friends. And so, but this kit, I really have loved it, and I thought this is perfect, and I want to use it this week in my planner. So we're going to set this up and get going for the week. So there's a week day headers. I may use them on the dailies, but I don't think I'm going to use any of that on here. And then there's another sheet of this. So if you haven't seen one of our subscription boxes, you get the full box sheet. The deco is kind of varies. Maybe the different kinds you get, like these are both have the like holographic overlay on them. I'm not sure how well the camera picks that up, but there's those. And then you get this set with like half boxes, quarter boxes, and then labels and things. And then another one, these are days of the week. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's weird. Oh, they go this way. That's 4, and then there's some other labels here. Okay, maybe 5 sets. I'm not real sure. I can't figure it out. We got a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to do important, and then another week. So there's 5 days, sets of day headers. You can use this for like a full month in your planner if you really wanted to. And then some of this deco. And then this one came with a roll of pet tape. It has quite a lot of things on it. We'll use some of those today. And then it came with quite a bit of washi. You also get the small sheet with the numbers for the month, the 1 through 31. And then there was all of this washi. And so we're going to use a handful of this today. We're also going to use these 3 markers. I have a Crayola Super Tips, and this, it looks orange, but it's actually pretty yellow. I have this Tombow 346 and this Tombow 725. And so these are the colors that we're going to use with this kit. And I did pull some of the brighter colors out because that's what I felt like I wanted right now. I'm not really into like ready for super fall dark colors yet. It's still like in the 90s where I live daily. So yeah, I love some of this deco. This, the hanging herbs, is beautiful. So let's get to setting up our normal little weekly sketch out here, and then we'll move on. So we're going to start with this, like our basic weekly plan. And on Monday, come out of frame a little bit. Yeah, that's a little better. On Monday, let's see, last week I have lots of pages in between here because of the quarterly setup that I'm working on but not quite done with. Geez, I have to really flip back to find the week before. This should be feed and water plants on this Monday. Last Monday I just watered, so we should feed this week. This day is going to be change sheets. I'm also going to put memory plan up here. Hoping October is the month I finally can get back into doing that. Since school started, I've not done well. Nothing on Tuesdays normally, right? Yeah, no, sometimes I have to pick up for the housekeeper, but she's not coming this week here. So Thursday is a weigh-in day for me. Friday is the day I deal with my finances. We're going to put zone task on Saturday since we're not taking care of the pool anymore. Dealing with zone task, I haven't done very well with that either. If you read my reflections, you see that I write about that all the time, that I need to get that incorporated. weekly reset and plan on Sunday. I do daily routines. It does like daily cleaning. I do the dishes, wipe down the countertops, wipe down the stove, do the laundry, normal kind of functioning things here. And then the housekeeper comes once every other week. I do change sheets once a week, all that kind of good stuff. But I need to deal with like zone tasks or things that don't get cleaned often. So more like deep cleaning kind of stuff. And I'm not in a good routine for that. One day maybe we'll get there. Oh, this pink is a little brighter than I thought, but that's okay. We're gonna go with it. So we highlight there. Here, the end of this marker looks strange. Almost like it's out of the case a little too far. And so in this particular planner, I have a little bit of a dilemma. I had a couple things that I messed up, I think, but that's okay. So when I made my, we can go back to September. When I made my September goals, I was counting this week as a week in September because the first wasn't until Wednesday. It's not really half the week, but you know, the planner itself starts over at the end of the week prior to this, where it ended on September the 28th. And so it has this in October. So I was trying to count some of my goals here. I was really struggling at like 5 weeks, but as I'm flipping through the weeks of September, I'm like, there's not 5 of them. So that was part of it. And then I always spend the first week of the new quarter kind of planning out that next quarter. I use HB90 for goals for my shop. And so I work through that process, and then also plan my personal like Q4 goals or Q3, whatever quarter it is. So I usually take that next week or so to kind of get planned out. So my quarterly goals are not completely set yet. So for this, we're going to just use what we were using last week. There's not going to be too much change in Q4. I don't make big lofty goals in Q4 because that is a very, very busy time for my shop. I own a planner sticker shop, I'm sure you know, because you're here. But that is a time that there's a lot that I have to do at the end of the year. So I just don't plan too heavily, just kind of to maintain what I've already done. I needed that to be longer, so I'm going to let it dry a little bit, and we'll finish filling that in. To-do, habits, and meals. Been using this for meals, and it's gone well to just track our dinners here. And I say track because we do plan a few meals when we get ready to grocery shop, but I don't ever know exactly which day of the week we plan on eating what. And so because of that, we kind of track what we do end up eating. I'm not sure about focus or priorities. I am going to flip back and forth. I'm going to move this little board to that week so that I can easily get to it, because there's several pages in here because it's a new quarter setup. So those are the weekly actions from last time. I do usually do those off camera, and then weekly reflections here. So those are done. Yeah, so then let's look at this week a little bit. As far as to-do items that need to move, this did not get done. So I'm going to move it again. I don't know why I'm avoiding doing that. It really will take me like 5 minutes. All right, and most of this is going to move down here too. So some of it has been worked on, but not complete. So we're just going to continue. Continue adding them here till they're done. What else did I have here? I am going to release an Advent box from my shop this year. I will probably share the theme soon and some more info about it and when it's going to release. I released the first annual one last year along with my shop's, I'm trying to think, third 2nd anniversary, 2022. Yeah, this will be my 3rd anniversary this year. So we'll use another advent box. I enjoyed making last year's, and I'm excited to keep working on this year's also. All right, so let's see. A lot of rinse and repeat on this week. I've been busy the last few weeks, but I'm not quite sure what's getting done. I have had a lot of orders that I'm working on while we're at it. So that could be part of it. A lot of these things are in process, just not completed. And sometimes when I'm working on shop stuff, I work on like what I feel like working on, like a mood kind of determination. So that means that I jump from thing to thing. So, okay, we're going to leave that at that for now. We're going to put a little bit of washi down. So there's one I haven't opened yet. Let's see what this one looks like. It's got like the, I think a peacock. Is that what that is? Not really sure what that kind of looks like. A bird. Maybe after the plastic's off we can tell. Hopefully that's not super noisy in your ear. Apologize if it was too loud. All right, let's look at, I don't know, it may just be florals. I was thinking that was a bird, but I'm not real sure. Anyways, we're going to put some of that down here. So we're going to put this washi down here. Not sure what is on it, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. I'm sure. I think this is the right way up because of the butterfly. So we're just going to go with it. Maybe it could just be florals with these really pretty colors. I don't know. I do like the blue and the pink with it, whatever it is. So if you have this box and you know what that is, let me know. All right, let's write actions up here. I usually fill in the weekly actions off camera just for time's sake. I will go ahead and fill in habits though. So we're going to keep the same habits here. We have AM meds, PM meds. My M got a little excited there. It has an extra hump. We're going to track water. We are going to added protein. I'm going to carry this through the end of this quarter. I think just keep trying to add the extra protein in versus tracking what I was consuming. So I was pretty consistently consuming about the same amount every day. Track sleep. The problem with this is I have to remember to charge my watch earlier in the evening so that when I am ready to go to sleep and go to bed, that it is charged enough to do that. I run into a problem with that. AM, oh yeah. AM skincare. Did I put them together? I did. Which is why I drew that line and then forgot. And then scripting. And I've not done well at this. And I added it in for September. And really haven't even gotten there to get to that point. So maybe we can add some more in for October. That would be nice. I don't know that there's anything else at the moment that I'm going to add to this list. If something comes up, I'll add it then. I do have hair appointment at 10 a.m. I do have the dogs are going to get shots at 2:15. Oh, do I have anything else? I don't think so. Not this week. Okay, let's add some washi. Maybe we can find some boxes I can write on over there. Not sure if the boxes in her kits will be, if I can write on them. I don't remember. I kind of feel like they're not. I feel like all this sticker paper possibly could be written on, but and these boxes are a little large, honestly. We're going to give it a shot. I'm going to put some washi up the top first. We'll do this one with the basket and the mortar and pestle. I like that one as well. This kit, I love the greens. They're some of my favorite colors. And I like the kind of apothecary vibe that I'm seeing with the herbs and the mortar and pestle. So it's definitely a kit that I really enjoy. So, all right, let's slide a couple of these down. Washi tapes are going to run away everywhere, so that one was plain, and then we can put a printed one. I did lay that down very, very crooked, and I'm not sure that will come up without tearing anything, so we're going to just leave it. And these are for the, this one's also kind of crooked, but we're going to let it ride. These are for the posts that I post on Instagram, and then I'm going to put reels down here, and they're not going to fit in any of those size boxes. Those are the smallest ones, and they are too big. So let's see. I could do like this, I think. I think we can run this down here on the washi a little bit, and we'll just list the reels out there. So post and reels for Instagram. That's what I've been tracking over here for a little while. Meals. I feel like the week is pretty set up. Weekly actions. I do usually add some deco down here. Let's see what kind of deco, what size of deco we can find. I think these books would be okay. I don't think they're too tall. I don't normally fill it up the entire way. So I think, yeah, we're probably fine with that. All right, so we'll get that filled in, and maybe we'll put another piece of deco here. I'm not sure. Yeah, so we could put this butterfly with it. The deco in this kit. And I love when she has the holographic over top of the deco. I think it's very, very pretty, and I really like this as well. So, all right, let's get moving here. And I will put some deco here usually at the end of the week once I'm sure that I'm done using the to-do list. So this one here will be set up for weekly actions. That's what we put on the top of this sheet. Not really the top, but yes. We fill this sheet in with weekly actions. No, weekly reflections. After the week is done, I go back and fill this in with weekly reflections. And I do sometimes add washi and deco and other things here, like last week I did. But I do all the writing I need to do before I do that to make sure that there is room for that. Let's see. Where is that week at? It's right here. So I added washi and page flags and a little bit of deco. So we'll fill that in, and then we need to start here. So the end of last week, or in the weekend, I did not draw a line down the center of my page, and I'm going to try that again this week. we're going to embrace that and go with it. I'm going to put this at the bottom of the page. I'm going to go all the way across. I love this open book with the herbs and the scissors. Kind of looks like a recipe book or something for some kind of herbal concoction, and I love it. All right, so we're going to put that up there, and then we'll go with this mushrooms across the top, and I think we'll go all the way across the top as well. I don't know that I want to use the date covers. I'm not sure they're going to cover this date all the way. And I really don't want to deal with whiting out, honestly. Just don't feel like it. So, but yeah, September flew by. Like, I can't believe that we're here nearly to October. I'm just like in shock that that month went so quickly. August, I felt like went a little fast, but not like September. So I guess we will be here at the end of the year before we know it. I don't know. Kind of would like to use these. The decorative ones are going to clash. Let's go to this like purpley color. I'm not sure how they're going to fit. I'm afraid. Actually, no, I think they're okay. All right, we'll go ahead and use them. So Monday, and we're going to leave the date there because I did use all the date dots on other pages. So I'm not going to worry about drawing a line. I'm going to add a little bit of deco and the water sticker and just call it good for this, setting these daily pages up. And for you, you don't have to watch me struggle through my challenges with the ruler. Although I did have a comment from a viewer, maybe last video or a couple videos ago, that told me to flip my ruler over and then it wouldn't smear. So I am curious to give that a shot at some point in time. I have not given it a try yet, but I will next time I decide to draw lines. But I think I kind of liked it without the lines the other day. I wish I had done the whole week that way, so it's like, we'll just try this week. We'll just try this week. This may be too much to add the book and the book, but you know what? It's going to be okay. The little tab that keeps his clothes is stuck here. So we'll set that off to the side of the desk while we do this. All right, so Monday looks pretty good. Let's set up Tuesday. So I think I'm going to use these purplish tabs all the way through for the whole week. I did think about changing colors, but this one has bows, and then this one's plain, and I'm just going to use the same ones. All right, so let's do Tuesday and Wednesday here. I'm not sure why I hadn't thought about using a Simply Gilded kit in here before. I've been just using kits from my shop for the month of August and September, and prior to that I was using Live Love Posh, but I do want to use this also. So I have this one I have already used, but I think otherwise I've used pretty much all of them. I'm going to do books, but I'm just going to do part of the page. We'll cut it off here kind of by the orange books. And then, see, let's put some of this little bitty one with these little bees up here at the top. I think this with the bees is so cute. And I cannot tell which way is up. I think this looks like upright to me. Okay, we're just going to start here and kind of go across a little bit of the page. Not the whole page, but yeah. All right, so there's that. There's that. Which ones did we use over here? I didn't use any of this apothecary one, so we'll do the whole page of it. I am gonna, well, probably complain again is what it's gonna sound like, that we still don't have any fall weather where I live. Hopefully you don't hear me complain when we do actually get some. But so, yeah, sometimes it gets, I don't know, we get like semi-cloudy and kind of a little bit cool, and I'm like, okay, here we go, we're done with these hot days, and then, goodness, I tried that paper again, then we're right back to 90+ degrees and hot and not any fun. So I'm really having a hard time getting into like oranges and pumpkins and all the things to decorate fall, and fall's my absolute favorite thing to decorate in my planner, but I'm just not feeling it because of the weather. So let's find some deco here to place. I want to use that bigger deco in here. I think that's the main reason I wanted to use this kit in my planner here, because I want to put the books on that one, because I wanted to use these. I wanted to use this and this and this, and they're big and they're beautiful, but they would not have made it in my A6. I don't decorate daily pages in there. I don't really use a daily page. So it's like, those are not going to work. And I didn't want to, I just couldn't see myself not using those stickers. So I honestly thought about setting up some daily pages in there just for the sake of using this. I was like, I'm not going to use those daily pages. I'm using this planner. And I'm not big on duplicating things from one planner to the other. I know a lot of people do. And if that's what you like, definitely, I'm glad that you do. I don't have time to write the same thing multiple times or places. So with that in mind, I'm just not interested in doing that. So yeah, so it's like I have to use this in this planner because I want to use that big deco. It's too pretty not to. And the pet tape is Kiss Cut. Now the pet tape is matte this time and doesn't have the overlay, and sometimes the pet tape has the overlay, and I love it on the overlay also. I mean, I love it on the pet tape also, but I'm okay if it doesn't always have it on there. I know not everybody loves it every time, so let's start with that. And I'm just gonna put this little page kind of header thing up here because I think it's really pretty. All right, so Wednesday and Thursday are good. No, Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's do Thursday and Friday now. Thursday and Friday. So So I don't live in a place where like fall weather is really like, we get a tiny little bit and then it kind of goes just into winter. And our fall kind of, well, our winter is probably like a lot of people's fall, but I don't say there's like tons of fall activities, but I want to know, are there fall activities? I could be using full boxes on these pages also. Jeez Louise. I could use full boxes. And I could use, I want to also use that bigger deco. Oh, these are so beautiful. I think we'll use some full boxes on this set. So I want to know, do you guys have fall plans? Like, do you visit a pumpkin patch? Do you, any of those kind of fall activities? Do you go to festivals or carnivals? Any of that sounds like loads of fun. We do have pumpkin patches around here. We have a couple farms that do like the maize, like a corn maze. I think it's usually corn here. They'll make like they'll make a maze through the corn that you have to kind of, as a challenge, go through. They do that, and some of those kind of evening like activities. You can go in the daytime or the evening time. And they usually have pumpkins there that you can purchase also. Sometimes hay rides. We used to do some of that when my kids were younger and small, but now that they're older, my husband and I, we don't really venture out to do that kind of a thing. I mean, I'm sure he would go if I suggested it. He doesn't mind doing pretty much anything I ask or suggest us do, but I was just wondering, do you do some of those things? I am. I'm going to use this one on here. Definitely going to put this one right here. I'll put my water sticker over there. I do miss like carving pumpkins with the kids, and I buy pumpkins and put on my porch for like fall decorations. I don't carve them, but I do buy the pumpkin and put them outside, and then when they're done and they get a little, that sticker's not cut through well. When they get a little bit yuck, you know, I feed them to my chickens, so they love pumpkin. And I do gather up from people around me, neighbors and things, whenever they're tossing some out. I'm like, hey, don't throw those away. My chickens will gladly take them and enjoy them. A friend of ours last year, they had a big pumpkin display in their yard with, I don't really know how many pumpkins he brought me, maybe like 20 or 30, and the chickens were super excited. I didn't put them all out there at one time. I left them outside the fence, and every few days I gave them different ones. It was funny because there were different kinds of pumpkins, like different colors and just types. And so watching the chickens pick through and like check it out, because they really like big orange pumpkins, like a traditional pumpkin, but they did eat the other varieties, but you could kind of tell which ones were their favorite. They do like pumpkin. They love watermelon. They get some of the watermelon tree in the summertime. It's super hot, and they love watermelon. All right, and I think we'll use the bigger two things on these 2 days here. So let's see. I think I want to put the deco down and then the washi up to it. Oh, I kind of want to put this up here. It looks like it should hang from the top of something, not from the bottom. So do we want to put some washi and then make it hang? I think so. I do miss some of those fall activities from when my kids were little. Of course, we would trick or treat and things like that. Some of that I don't miss. Halloween's not necessarily my favorite holiday. I don't have anything really against it. I know some people have like religious issues or something. I don't really particularly have a problem with the holiday. I just don't care for it, and I never have cared for it, even when I was a young child, and I don't know why I didn't care for it. I just didn't. So my mom really liked Halloween, and so she would dress us up and like go all out with costumes and stuff. And I absolutely hated the dressing up. I hated putting makeup, face paint, mask, any of that on my face. I would not really want to trick or treat. My brother would, and she would tell me that I couldn't have any candy if I didn't trick or treat. And I was like, it was fine. I was older and probably a little bit meaner, so I would just ask semi-nicely. If I didn't get my way, I would kind of just take some of his candy. Okay, let's check on that other large. I've got 3 of them. I can save the bottles maybe to use under my weekly reflections. But I'm going to put this down here and then only put washi up to it to make sure I don't overtake the page. So yeah, Halloween's not my favoriteest thing. I've never enjoyed dressing up. My husband and I have dressed up the last several years because we've been invited to a couple of Halloween parties. So we have dressed up to do kind of like couples costumes, and it's been fine. We haven't done anything really ridiculous that required me to be very uncomfortable or way out of character. So, but I don't know. I'm not really sure why Halloween and I aren't that great of friends, but it's just not my jam. So now, like at school, we will let the little kids will come and trick or treat either on Halloween or somewhere close to Halloween, and they bring like pre-K through probably 2nd grade, and our high school kids stand outside and like outside of our classrooms in the hallway and pass out candy to these little kids. I love that. I love watching the little kids come in and see all their costumes and watching them come down the halls. That's a lot of fun for me. And I like when kids trick or treat at the door. Of course, we kind of live out a ways, and so we don't get trick or treaters out here really, but and I also, my student council kids and I help at the elementary trunk or treat every year. So I love to get to see the little kids dressed up, but as far as me dressing up, it's not really fun for me. So I think that's pretty much how this week is going to be. For now, I don't know that I'll add the line in. If I do decide to go back and add that in, I will share that with you in a flip through. But for now, I think this is it. So thanks for spending some time with me, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. And if you like what you see here, like and subscribe for the next time that I do one of these kind of videos. Have a great day.